Ferrari copied Mercedes' banned design in F1 2023. F1 defines high speed, thrill, and adrenaline. Mercedes, Red Bull, and Ferrari are one of the most brilliant cars to light up the event, and for Bahrain, Ferrari has been leading the news. They not only created a buzz because of their somewhat controversial design, but when they released the results of the wind tunnel measurement of their car, everyone was pleasantly surprised. They had gained a full second advantage per lap, but we will talk about it later in detail. Let's get the video started. Ferrari has created ripples in F1 with the debut of their new SF23, and the car's most prominent feature is its eye-catching front wing. Curiously, this design has a strong similarity to Mercedes' controversial front wing, which was eventually considered giving an undue aerodynamic advantage by the FIA and was so prohibited. Rival teams, including Ferrari and Red Bull, claimed at the time that Mercedes had put 5 fins on each side of the front wing, anchoring the top 2 flaps and gaining an unfair aerodynamic advantage. Changes to the car. Ferrari has made a lot of changes to their 2022 version of the car, and that did raise a lot of eyebrows. The entire chassis of the car is now entirely lightweight, so Ferrari should be at the minimal weight from the first race of the season, something they reportedly struggled with last year. That will undoubtedly assist them with not just the speed of the automobile. Still, if they can get it under minimal weight, they will be able to customize the automobile for the drivers and their specific driving styles. Therefore, having a lightweight car is critical for Ferrari, especially because Red Bull, the major competitor, will bring its lightweight chassis. The fascinating design modifications are suppressed by smart solutions that may be seen by closely inspecting the automobile. It was especially intriguing to see a vertical intake in the bottom half of the chassis, immediately in front of the side pods. Ferrari's technicians refer to this intake as the bypass duct, which emerges at the top of the side pods. The goal is to accelerate the airflow, particularly the hot stream emerging from the top grills, so that it may be directed towards the back of the automobile. From the top, it's easy to observe that the side pod's curved profile has maintained a key element of this vehicle, much as it did its predecessor. We can observe how the bypass duct's outflow is separated into 2 sections to feed the airflow flowing beneath differently. Biggest news. The greatest news for Ferrari fans is yet to come, because Ferrari has stated that even with the 15mm technical raise from the floor, they are still up on downforce over last year. According to wind tunnel measurements, they are 1 second faster every lap with this automobile. Of course, we should take it with a grain of salt, because wind tunnel correlation was an issue last year. Given that this is their second year, they should be much more sure that what they observed in the wind tunnel will be replicated on the racetrack. The nose was relocated back onto the second front wing to give the car a little lift in the front. That is really strange, since it comes with the opposite direction for every other automobile. It's most likely due to the suspension. Controversial changes. Enough of this, let's get to the juicy stuff. The wings in the front. The front wings contain slot gap holders that are used for aerodynamics. The problem is that they were outlawed in Austin last year when Mercedes came with them. Ferrari was most likely the one who complained. So, how can they have them on the vehicle? And maybe it's just for the reversal, and they'll take them off on the racetrack. No, because the rules have changed. These are now legal. Formerly, it was stated that these need to be primarily for the structure to hold the wings in place, and for aerodynamic purposes. The important phrase, primarily, has been eliminated from the rulebooks. This implies that as long as the slot gap separators establish a structural link between successive front wing profiles and meet exacting measurement standards, they are now entirely legal, regardless of how much aerodynamic boost they give. As a result, even Mercedes may probably reintroduce them. Well, let's move on to the suspensions. The suspension from the front wing has been preserved as a push rod at the front, but the front suspension has been rebuilt and updated, and significantly. The track rods are considerably lower. This is likely why the nose is different from last year to fit the redesigned suspension. They've also entirely overhauled their rear suspension. They now have 2 multi-link arm setups, bringing their rear suspension closer to what Red Bull was doing. One of the more intriguing aspects of the Ferrari is that the cannon exit at the back does not aim down to fire up the diffuser. So, what do you think about this video? What do you think about the controversial upgrade? How much will the 1 second per lap advantage help Ferrari on the racetrack? Please tell us in the comments section below. Even a millisecond matters in an F1 racetrack, and the Ferrari have gained the advantage of a full second per lap. It will greatly benefit Ferrari, and we are eager to see their performance in the upcoming Bahrain event. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.